Hello everyone, I am Rose the Witchtarian and I'm going to do a daily vibe for you guys. We're going to see what wants to come up. I'm going to tell you that the energies are intense, very wave-like right now. It's like 1 minute you feel really good and the next minute you're like, oh, my whole life is collapsing. Or like there's the tornado and it's impending. I can see it. It's coming, right? That Knight of Swords. I mean, actually, the Knight of Swords and the Death card. It's like big changes are coming. You can feel them. They're so tangible. It is. It's like you can feel that storm in the air where it's like setting the stage and big transformation is coming. No one can kind of outrun the storm. The storm is everywhere. And the storm isn't necessarily bad. It's just intense and it brings change. It won't look the same when the trees blow around. It won't look the same. It can look messy. It can look like we all of a sudden have to do a lot of work. And a lot of us are feeling that. We're having these internal storms right now to like shake up the stuff, to look at it and be like, hey, did you even know that was still in your closet? Did you know that was still there? Well, let me give you an experience so that you remember that you've been hiding stuff in there. Let me shake it up. Let me bring that to the surface so that then you can do something about it. And so many of us have been like, I don't want to deal with that last thing or those other things. I'll get to them when I'm ready. And the universe is like, there is no ready. You've done as enough work as you possibly can. And now you just have to like buckle down and do it. That like Mars and Taurus energy where it's just like, you're just going to have to go through the process. You're going to have to do the thing, the action. You're going to have to take the steps. It's very Knight of Pentacles. Like you're just going to have to go and do it and move forward and be okay if it's not perfect, but like be committed to that forward movement. That's really important. You've got the Two of Cups here as well. So the Two of Cups is, to me, it feels like divine connection. So the reconnection to source, the reconnection, even what I really see lately is that reconnection to the inner child. And a lot of the stuff blowing around and creating a lot of chaos for us, it's a lot of our unhealed child wounds. They seem to show up everywhere and no one can escape them. Okay, you can't escape them. You can heal them and then they are no longer present, or you heal a layer of them and then you get closer to like that core wound. It's a process. And yeah, this is the bottom card on the deck. It's the Three of Swords. So that self-love, that connection to self, that commitment to self, even when things are just blowing up left, right, and center, you're just like, I am committed to my healing. I am committed to doing better, being better, seeing things from different perspectives. I'm not going to not evolve. And this is a call of, are you willing to evolve? Are you willing to let the old go and create space so that you can receive that newness, it's a newness because you haven't experienced it in a really long time, if ever in this lifetime, but really it's more of like the original. You get to experience the original when it's not tainted by hardship and trauma and core wounds. If you work through it, you start working towards that organic template of like, oh, this is just how it's actually meant to feel. My normal is meant to be loving and compassionate. And because I've healed those things within me that keep me from accessing that within myself, I'm therefore able to experience it when I do the healing. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, you are looking inwards and you are understanding that the world around you is giving you an experience of all the things that you actually lack or can't access within you. It's kind of like, hey, remember that you are a compassionate being by only seeing people that are not compassionate around you. And that yearning where you're like, I just want to feel compassion. I just want people to see me. I want empathy. I want those things. But then you don't do those things for you. You're not compassionate to you. You're like a hard ass. You're like, no time to love myself. I got to go and I got to do. Well, guess what? Then you're going to attract people that are hard asses and only do and do and do and do. So it's like you have to become that which you desire to experience in this world. And it will be different for everyone. But the organic template is love and compassion and joy, all those things that you're like, man, that would be really nice to experience, but it's not the real world. Well, the reason it's not the real world is because most of us don't or haven't accessed that part of ourselves for it to be our default programs. We might have, levels of compassion, or we might have something we're really, really strong in, but then we're lacking in these other things because we haven't done the healing in those facets yet. So it's like, what is it for you? What is it when you look outwardly that triggers the shit out of you, where you're like, oh, that person, or if they just did this, or if they would just stop talking about that? What is that thing for you? And I'm going to tell you, likely it's something that you do, or something that you're not satisfied within you, or you wish you did. It's something. It's mirroring it to you. Universe is trying to tell you through the only way that it knows how, which is through experience on this 3D level. Okay? There are other ways to access more knowing, but right now we're talking about the 3D. Okay? What is it outwardly that is showing you inwardly that you need to look at, if you so choose? Because you could choose not to, and you could, keep receiving what you're receiving and just keep living it that way. You are allowed to do that. Or do you want something different? Do you want to experience those things in which you crave and you desire? So you have to learn how to meet your own needs first, how to satisfy yourself, how to fill your cup, how to love yourself. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys there, and remember that you can only perceive that which you are, so raise your vibes. Have a great day, guys.